Hi everybody, it's Magdalena with another Tarot Talks from the Witch's Hive. Today I wanted to talk about protection. Protection in the tarot, tarot related magic practice that you might have, and all around general protection for tarot readers. As tarot readers, we become vessels for our clients, for their reading, for the alignment and the clarity that they then gain. Each tarot reader is different and each one has their own style, but one can't argue that a certain amount of personal energy goes into the reading that we offer others. Generally readings are pretty easy when it comes to energy exchange. You feel pretty light afterwards. I like to do readings, take a few notes at the end, and then thank the client, thank their energy, and end it. But every now and then there is a reading that can leave us feeling exhausted, kind of foggy after the reading for a long time. And it can affect our own personal energy, crossing over into our energetic body as well, potentially causing us harm. So it's vital that tarot readers protect themselves regularly because of this. It's always better to be prepared before a reading for any potential draining than to be exhausted afterwards and drained. That, I think, is something really important for tarot readers to practice, especially once they start to do more frequent readings, even if it's just for friends. If you imagine you've gone outside, you've gone for a run, you've gotten super sweaty, you've picked up all the grime off the streets, and then you come home and you have a shower and you feel really great and you're glowing afterwards as well. And just like a tarot reading, the same thing. Like, you go and you know you have this gift that you want to give to people, and you give it and you absorb all of their energy, you absorb what they're telling you, and then at the end of the day you come home, you have a shower, you get rid of it, but you still feel really good for doing this amazing, beautiful work for people. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about was why protection in daily life. Psychic attacks can harm anybody at any time, and they can be projected by these things, or people not even being aware that they're projecting them. Have you ever been around someone whose presence left you feeling completely depleted of energy? Or have you felt that no matter how much you bring light to the conversation, or if you excuse yourself from the situation, you just can't shake that heavy feeling, that exhaustion, or even sadness that you know isn't your own, that you're carrying? Have you ever been in a room, a house, or an area that felt like there was an uncomfortable presence? Maybe you instantly felt sad or distraught. The temperature might have dropped around you in a certain area of the house or a room, or you just got an all-around vibe from the place that just was kind of off, and you felt like, hey, you know what? I don't think I should be here right now, or something's kind of shifty, or something's reaching out and trying to cling onto me. As practitioners of the tarot and of magic, we are a lot more susceptible to harmful energies. This happened to me pretty recently, and I've been aware of this for many years, but pretty recently it happened to me again. So no matter how many years I've been practicing magic for and tarot for, I still become vulnerable to this, because it's kind of like a catch-22. If you want to be so open and give so much to people when it comes to healing, when it comes to helping, and when it comes to magic, then you can expect a certain amount of things kind of creeping their way in sometimes. One thing to note is that it's very important to become aware of what is reality and what is paranoia. So you got to trust your intuition, and it is important to validate it, of course. If you feel a gut feeling about someone or somewhere or a location or a presence or something, believe in it 100%. But run through a mental checklist of why you feel that way and why you feel that you're being attacked psychically. Ask yourself where this could be coming from. Is it intentional or not? Is the person or the thing aware that they're even projecting this harm onto you? That's super necessary to kind of figure out. So I pulled out 4 minor arcana cards. To me, they represent actions. So I'm calling them action cards. So the first one today we're going to talk about is the 9 of Wands as an action protective card. It's about sticking to your idea, protecting your idea, your passion, your belief, your way of life, holding on to it and not giving up, even though you may be a little bit abused, they're beaten, mentally kind of abused. You know, people may be telling you otherwise, that you're wrong, your idea is terrible, or your way of life is terrible, or you're terrible, something's terrible. This card is about protecting what you believe in, holding on to it. Being a 9 too, it is quite far along in the numerology aspect of the tarot. It doesn't represent a new idea or anything like that, or a new way of thinking. It actually represents something that you firmly believe in, something that you've actually developed, something that is worth protecting. The next one that we have is the 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles represent everything that is stable around us, everything that grounds us, everything that we surround ourselves with that kind of has a presence in our life that makes us feel grounded and stable. This can be our career, our family, our home, our friends, our study, anything that we're working towards as a goal, something that is bringing us money, something that is bringing us security. And so in this card here, you can see these two people are quite broken, they're quite beaten, and they're in need of refuge, and they're right around the corner from it. So this window here could represent a sanctuary of sorts. Its lights are on, it's glowing yellow, so it's welcoming and inviting and warm despite the snow outside and the cold outside. So they're at that kind of point where they're right about to enter shelter. They're right about to enter help. Being a 5 in numerology of the tarot, it also means a turning point, like a pivotal moment where things kind of shift. And what this could mean in a tarot reading for yourself or for someone else is that, whatever's been going on, there is a space of protection that's coming along. My little plan here says hello. The 6 of Swords. So here you can see somebody that is kind of helping two people transition into a safer place or safely into a new place. It's a new way of thinking, a new outlook on things, with the help and guidance of maybe a friend helping you kind of navigate those waters protectively. So you can see here that these swords are all stacked up around this little boat, almost like a protective shield. They're very strong, and they're kind of guarding these two people. Swords being everything to do with our mind, our communication, how we think, anything that is mental related. This could be about protecting anything to do with your thoughts. And the water here is quite calm too. So as you can see on one side, it's just got a little bit of movement, just a little bit here. And then on the other side, it's super calm. It's not anything that's like emotionally turbulent. It's more about finding a way to get from point A to point B, maybe with the help of a friend or someone else, a counselor, some sort of a guide that kind of helps you travel from one way of thinking to another, which is very protective. The 4 of Pentacles. So here you have somebody protecting, holding on tightly onto this pentacle. They're standing on 2 of them and then balancing one on top of their crown as well. So it's about protecting your home, protecting your finances, protecting that which you surround yourself with that is fixed and grounded or semi-permanent, like the one in his crown. It's very straightforward, protecting that which you want safe from maybe the rest of the world behind him. So these 4 I picked out as action cards to define protection in the tarot. There may be others that kind of resonate with you or you relate to, which is totally okay. That's just the 4 that I felt were most relevant. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the cards that represent protection itself in the tarot. This is actually the last card that I picked. At first I didn't really think of the Hermit as a protective card until I took a closer look. The Hermit turns inward. It's a self-protective card. It turns inward to explore a new path. And that path is lit up by his lantern. And that lantern holds the star from the star card. So it's the star of dreams, of new hopes and new beginnings. But the Hermit is taking that time to kind of go inward on his own journey to find that again. And this might be because he has a need to self-protect, to isolate himself for a while from something on this new little mission, to come back more resilient and more aware of any potential harm or anything you need to protect yourself from in the future. The Magician is all about mastering and gathering the tools necessary for a, say, protection spell, for your intentions, for anything to do with balance and magic, work that you do, anything that you're about to embark on. You kind of need this magician to come along with you because they have all of the tools there that you're going to need on your journey. It's about balancing the conscious mind with the subconscious mind and finding a harmony between the two. It's about as above, so below, in his hand gestures there. It's about a balanced place for your protection and that which is attacking you to live in harmony. So what I mean by that is, if you feel like something is psychically attacking you, or you feel like you need some sort of protection, or you feel like you need to protect yourself, even from a small thing, such as maybe a heavy tarot reading. It's not about creating these hexes or these very dark black magic spells of protection and, destroying that which is trying to harm you. It's more about finding a way for the protection spell or energy itself to live in harmony with that which you feel is attacking you in some special place away from you. And the reason why I say that is because what we put out there comes back to us. The Hierophant, once called the Pope, along with the High Priestess, the Popus, now the Hierophant. So this card is about a spiritual journey or turning towards a guide, a leader, a spiritual leader, somebody who can kind of help you along the way. It does not represent any particular religion or any particular spiritual belief. The Hierophant turns us towards spiritual aid and assistance. It's about finding a new path in your beliefs and turning to somebody who might assist you. So for protection, you might feel like you kind of do need somebody to help you out with that one. So you could turn towards a teacher, you could turn towards a family member or a loved one. You might turn towards somebody in your community that has the same spiritual beliefs as you and say, hey, listen, I need a little bit of help with this. Could you maybe lend me a hand with some advice? Got a potion? I was explaining to some of my students the other day that the High Priestess doesn't come up very often for me. I don't use her as a deity or anything like that. But when she does come up, when she does come and say hello, I can't hear her talking. If you guys meditate with the cards, taking a moment to sit back and really enter their world, then you might hear some of the people in the tarot speak to you. But every time the High Priestess comes to me, I just see her sitting there so serene and calm, and her lips don't move. But you know what? I hear her in my head. This magical creature really has a way of getting into your mind, into your intuition, into every part of you and telling you what you need to know. The High Priestess is our clairvoyant self. She listens in silence and she gives us revelation and enlightenment in return. She brings our intuition to the forefront. I don't know if they're brother or sister or if they're even related, but these two go together. Magician and the High Priestess, 1 and 2, key 1 and 2. The Magician has all the tools to make things happen. The High Priestess has all the intuition and the inner knowledge, the feels, the understanding to make things happen. He has all the kind of learnt knowledge and all the study and everything. And then she has what makes it kind of come to fruition and work. So for protection, these two are really great, especially if you want to master your own strength when it comes to stepping out into the world every day. Turn to these two. You've got your tools. You might have your mantras, you might have your mace, you might have some way of protecting yourself. But then the High Priestess comes along for the ride too, and she kind of keeps you aware of what's real, what's not, what you need to protect yourself from, what you need to stand back from, what you can get more involved in. These two are really cool as a little pair of friends to take with you on your daily journeys that you might feel need a little bit of protection. So the next one is one of my favorite friends in the tarot. It's the Hangman. So what's the Hangman got to do with protection? He's meditating and he's He's patient and hangs upside down, suspended in a state of calm. So it's about being true to yourself, your own ways, without conforming to expectations. It's about protecting yourself by being who you truly are. Let's think about that for a second. The Hangman tells us, he has this like enlightened circle around his head here. He tells us that it's okay to be you. If somebody makes fun of you because you love maths, then that's their problem. It's okay to love maths. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what the Hangman tells us. The Hangman tells us that it's okay for me to post these dorky videos on tarot because I live and breathe it and it's my everyday. It squeezes out of my pores and I think it's awesome. And if somebody comes at me and says, "You're such a weirdo, that's a silly way of thinking in life," then I turn to protection from my Hanged Man. And I remember that it's totally okay to hang upside down off my bed and look at the world for a while, or to hang upside down off one of those like rails like you did as a kid and look at the world upside down, and to do things your way. To wear red yoga pants all day if you want to, and do the tree pose upside down hanging off a tree. Well, that might be a bit difficult, so don't try that at home. But that's what the Hangman's about. It's about being you. And if you ever need a gentle reminder about that, turn towards the Hangman and he'll let you know, hey, it's cool, let's go buy some yellow shoes. The world, the everything. Here is beautiful world in its perfect equilibrium. It's a whole, and it's a protective circle and cycle. It's also protected in the four corners by the four elements. So it's kind of an all-encompassing card. If you really feel like you need that extra boost of protection, that extra reaffirming kind of sense of love, I would look towards the World card. Put it up on your altar, photocopy it larger, put it up in your bathroom, or wherever in your kitchen, or everywhere in your house, just as a gentle reminder that the world has got your back. So, that's it for today. I hope that you all self-protect yourself when it comes to tarot readings and when it comes to stepping out in the world, because it's super important. As tarot readers, witches, and people, we do need to be aware of things around us and little creepers clinging on. Bye.
Hey witches, thanks so much for watching and learning with me today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a like and subscribe to my channel. Your magical support is greatly appreciated. You can also check out my other videos from The Witch's Hive on YouTube and find me on Instagram at The Witch's Hive.